We will continue now straight from Brussels again, and we will hear the regarding based on these success stories, Erasmus Mundus novelties. What news would we have? What are the changes? And we have Julija, Eversoniene, and Jekaterina Bouttier. They should be both online. Yes, and now
I hope you can hear me.
We can hear you very well. We can see you very well. And as we are a little bit behind the schedule, the floor is yours. And welcome to Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. More than 100, almost 100 people are listening to you. So the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you very much. And I'm Julija Eversoniene, and I'm here with my colleague Jekaterina Bouttier. And first of all, we would like to thank National Agency for inviting us and to speak here. And just to tell you, we are working in European Education and Culture Executive Agency, and we will present you Erasmus Mundus Joint Master and Erasmus Mundus Design Measure. And as you can see in the presentation, there is a disclaimer. This information is just for your information. So all the details you have to check in the Erasmus Plus program guide when it's published and in the call. So let's start. So Erasmus Mundus, as you know, started back in 2004 with Erasmus Mundus Master course, then followed by Erasmus Mundus Joint Master degrees. And now we have two lots, Erasmus Mundus Joint Master and Erasmus Mundus Design Measure. And just a little bit of statistics, what happened over these past years. So we had 535 master programs that have been financed, 610 different higher education institutions from 33 countries, from EU member states, third countries associated to the program participated and collaborated. And 24,500 students worldwide received generous scholarships, and with the total of budget of 1.7 billion euros. So here, as you can notice, we changed a little bit the wording. What we called program countries now become EU member states and third countries associated to the program. And what we called partner countries, now we are calling third countries not associated to the program. So these are new wordings now. And the novelty that Erasmus Mundus Action moved from Key Action 1, from learning mobility for individuals, to Key Action 2, cooperation for innovation and good practices. And this section supports activities and partnership for cooperation, innovation, and excellence. And here, to get a little bit familiar with Key Action 2. So you can see that Erasmus Mundus Action, together with European universities and VET Centers of Excellence, are under Partnership for Excellence. So the excellence is the cornerstone of our activities. So, as I said, Erasmus Mundus Action has two different lots. It's from one side, Erasmus Mundus Joint Master. It's a continuation and an improvement of pre-existing scheme. And our novelty, Erasmus Mundus Design Measure. And these are two completely independent lots. You don't need to have previously EMDM to launch EMJM, and it's not give you the straight access to EMJM if you have EMDM. So it's completely two separate lots. I will present you Erasmus Mundus Design Measures, because it's a novelty and because it's a really good starting point to get familiar with the international cooperation activities. So what is rationale behind Erasmus Mundus Design Measures? So it's filling the gap of the Erasmus Mundus action by supporting the development of the new master programs. And of course, diversify the offer of joint master programs and encourage new academic cooperation by involving Erasmus Mundus underrepresented EU member states and third countries associated to the program, and or institutions from these countries and or thematic areas. And this you can this you can check in our catalog. You can check what are the thematic areas, countries are underrepresented. And of course, when you will fill in the application form, you have to justify and you have to put as well the added value. Next slide. So what is Erasmus Mundus Design Measure Project? So it's a short duration grant that supports institutions in the setting up a new joint master program. And it's a one beneficiary. This one beneficiary should mobilize a group of other higher education institutions. As I already mentioned, is independent funding scheme from Erasmus Mundus Joint Master. And here, you don't need, if you are not ready after the Erasmus Mundus Design Measure activities, if you are not ready to launch Erasmus Mundus Joint Master, there is no obligation. So what are expected outcomes? So it should be, the master should offer a fully integrated curriculum developed by a consortium. And this consortium should involve at least 3 higher education institutions from 3 different countries, of which at least 2 must be EU member states or third countries associated to the program. So it's the aim to attract excellent students worldwide. It should include physical mobility for all recruited students, for scholarship holders and for non-scholarship holders. And it should lead to either a joint degree or multiple degree. So as you can see, jointness is the core. So it should be jointly designed program with the joint procedures, with joint administrative and financial management, with common services offered to students, with common student selection, evaluation, and follow-up, with the joint promotion and dissemination. And you have to prepare a draft joint partnership agreement and student agreement. And of course, it's a joint degree policy, and you have to launch of accreditation process. And of course, explore opportunities offered by the European approach for quality assurance of joint programs if national legislation allows it. So as I said, it's a one beneficiary. He have to mobilize a group of other higher education institutions. So when you fill in the eForm in the part A, this should be just one beneficiary, and other partners will be listed in another parts of application. So it's a fixed duration of 15 months. This 15 months as well, it's not a coincidence. We see that after the completion of Erasmus Mundus Design Measures, there is time given for the beneficiaries to prepare application for Erasmus Mundus Joint Masters. But as I said, there is no obligation. And it's a fixed lump sum contribution of 55,000 euros. So as well, in the application form, you should put 15 months, not more, not less. And in the budget, it's as well, it's a fixed contribution, 55,000 that you have to put in the budget table and detailed budget table. So here, who can take parts as an organization? So applications can be submitted by any higher education institution in an EU member state, third country associated to the program, or third country not associated to the program. So it allows even the third country not associated to the program be the applicants for Erasmus Mundus Design Measure. For higher education institutions in the EU member states and third countries associated to the program, they should have a valid Erasmus charter. And a little bit of timing. For the moment, we expect that the program guide and the call will be published in November. With the deadline, it's in mid-February. And I know that the budget will increase in compared to the last call. And we increased as well approximate number of applications to be selected. So now it will be 55 compared to the previous call. So it's an increase. And here the selection roadmap. So as I said, the call mostly be published in November with the deadline in February. The experts will work in March or April. Notification to the applicants will be in June, July, and the signature of the grant agreement July, August. So how to apply? You have to go to European Commission's Funding and Tender Opportunities portal, and there you will find all the information, the call when it will be available, of course, the program guide, and even some presentations on how to fill in eForm. And the evaluation procedure. So we have independent external experts, 2 experts that will assess the applications. And the proposals must score at least 60 points to be selected. And in the case of EACEA, priority will be given to projects with higher scores for relevance. And then we will see impact. And here I have just few slides to show you. Just I will mention how much maximum points you can have for each award criteria. So we have 4 award criteria. So for relevance of the project, you can have 40 points. For quality of the project design and implementation, you can have maximum 20 points. For quality of the partnership and cooperation arrangement, you can have 20 points. And for the impact, it's 20 points. And now my presentation is over, and all your questions we will see after the presentation. And now I give the floor to my colleague Jekaterina Bouttier, and she will present you Erasmus Mundus Joint Master. Jekaterina?
Yes, hello. Can you hear me? Hello.
Me, yes.
Hello, everyone. Yes, I hope everyone
we can hear you. We can hear you, and now we can see you too. Greetings from Tallinn, greetings from Estonia, as we are a little bit using your own free time already, and we are a little bit behind the schedule. The floor is yours. We are ready to hear your presentation. And then the questions come.
Okay. Yes, thank you. Thank you. And I would like to start by saying that I'm really delighted to be here today with you at your important event, and to present you the new program, new Erasmus Mundus Joint Master program. And also thank you very much to Raminta and Mart for having shared your stories of how you implement Joint Master degree programs. So now for the new period, the program, the Erasmus Mundus Joint Master program has been relooked. And it's now, it has become more strategic and more flexible and more simple, more open, more sustainable, and more generous. And this is all good news. So, this is not this slide. Let me just find the correct slide. Okay. No, these are DMs. All right. Okay, I think I went too far. Okay. So, very briefly, what is an Erasmus Mundus Joint Master? It's a high-level integrated and transnational study program at master level. It's a program of excellence which is open to all disciplines. It is delivered by an international consortium of higher education institutions from different countries worldwide and other educational or non-educational partners. And this program offers high-level scholarships to excellent students worldwide. Okay. What are the main objectives of such a program? This program supports quality, innovation, excellence, internationalization of higher education institutions through academic cooperation within the European higher education area and beyond. It increases quality and attractiveness of the European higher education area. It also supports EU external action in higher education. It increases synergies between higher education, innovation, and research. It improves competencies, skills, employability of master graduates, and in response to societal and labor market needs. Now, as I've said, that the Erasmus Mundus action has been relooked. We have also new terminology now within this new program. The name itself has been slightly changed, so we've now lost letter D, and Erasmus Mundus Joint Master degree becomes Erasmus Mundus Joint Master. It's an action, just like my colleague Julija said, it consists of two independent lots, Erasmus Mundus Joint Masters and Erasmus Mundus Design Measures. Now also, when we talk about enrolled students, we speak about both scholarship holders and non-scholarship holders. We also we have replaced the term intake that we have been using. Now it has become addition, and it's a full master program cycle of either 120, 90, or 60 CTS. And another novelty is that we have a new financial instrument for external action, NDICI, which stands for Neighborhood Development and International Cooperation Global Europe Instrument. And the budget headings that we had previously in the previous generation of the program, we had heading 1, which was it's Erasmus Plus program budget, and now it will be called heading 2. It's become heading 2, and heading 4, the budget for additional scholarships, it has become heading 6, and it will be covered from the funds of the external action, EPA 3 and NDICI. Right, now we'll speak a bit about the main requirements of the Erasmus Mundus Joint Master Program. So it's a jointly designed, fully integrated curriculum and common implementation procedures, which are based on the standards for quality assurance of joint programs in the European higher education area. And when we speak about jointness and jointly designed and implemented, it covers everything. Joint selection, joint promotion, joint common services, joint administrative and financial management is the core word. It is delivered, the program is delivered by a consortium of at least 3 higher education institutions from 3 different countries. And 2 of these countries must be EU member states and third countries associated to the program. And Julija has already said that we've changed the terminology here. The terminology here, in the previous generation, we call these countries program countries and partner countries, and now it's program countries have become EU member states and third countries associated to the program, and partner countries, those countries that are not associated to the program. So another requirement for such a program, it's international outreach to attract and enroll excellent students worldwide. And some of these students may benefit from an Erasmus Mundus Joint Masters scholarship. Further on, we speak here about compulsory physical mobility for all enrolled students. And at least 2 study periods should be done in 2 countries with a minimum duration of 1 academic semester. And the countries should be different from the country of residence of students, because here we speak about international mobility. Also, contribution of scholars and guest lecturers is very important here. They contribute, they bring an added value to the program, to the implementation of the program, by teaching, training, and conducting also being supervisors of research activities. And it's in the program also, when we speak about the diploma, it's a joint degree or multiple degree, the degree that students get. It's a joint degree or multiple degree. And of course, joint degrees, we highly recommend them, but it is possible, well, it depends on the national legislation. If your national legislation allows that, of course, we recommend that. And it's important to know that at the application stage, Erasmus Mundus Joint Master proposals must present already fully developed joint study programs. They should be ready to run and to be advertised worldwide after the selection. So once the proposal has been selected, the program should be ready to be run and advertised. Okay, now our next slide. Up. All right, I have some connection problems. Okay, I think now it's working. So, speaking about the Erasmus Mundus Joint Masters setup. So, for this new program, it's a fixed grant agreement of 74 months. Because earlier we would use different number of months, but now it becomes a fixed agreement of a fixed period, 74 months, and it's independent from the length of the master. And within these 74 months, there should be at least 4 master editions lasting 1 or 2 academic years, and we'll see. We'll look at how it should look like, the 74 months and the editions in the next slide. So there is a commitment to enroll a certain number of students per project. The first edition, the start of the first edition, should be no later than the academic year following the year of when the project was selected. At least 2 study periods should be in 2 countries, of which at least 1 that should be the country associated to the program. And both countries should be different, as I've already said, different from the country of residence of students. Now, there is a new rule now about the geographical balance of students. So in the previous program, we have that there should be no more than 3 3 students of the same nationality. But here we've changed that, and now we'll be talking about having no more than 10% of total scholarships per project awarded to students of the same nationality, and that would not apply to additional scholarships for targeted regions. So only for the budget from the Erasmus Plus program. Okay, now. Okay, here we go with the slide, and you can see, so 74 months, and depending on how long the joint master is, so if it's a 1-year master course with 60 ECTS, you can have, you start, and the project doesn't have any preparatory activities, any preparatory year, so you start with the first edition, and you can have 6 editions. If the project does have preparatory activities, then you can have 1 year preparatory activities plus 5 editions. Now, if we speak about a 2-year master course, then without the preparatory activities, you can have 5 editions. And with the preparatory editions, you arrive at 4 editions. So this is how it works now. All right. So now I would like to say some words to compare a bit. To say what is new in comparison with the previous generation of Joint Master program. So now the Joint Master offers more flexibility for consortia. Well, it's a similar program. I mean, it's the same program. There's a continuity. There are no major changes to the overall concept of Joint Masters. But now the emphasis is put on all enrolled students with the aim to recruit more non-scholarship holders. To assure, of course, the sustainability of your master beyond the EU funding. We will have increased international cooperation because more opportunities will be given to higher education institutions from third countries which are not associated to the program, because now these programs can be also applicants. The formal concept of preparatory year and intake has been abandoned. Now we talk about preparatory activities instead of preparatory year and additions instead of intake. So further, we have the simplified rule for geographical balance that I've already spoken about. 10% of all students of the same nationality. So this rule of maximum 3 scholarship holders of the same nationality per intake does not apply any longer. There is also very good news, simplification of rules for scholars. So now we don't have those official requirements anymore, which we had. So to have a minimum number of scholars and a minimum number of and a certain number of scholar weeks. It has been abandoned as well. So there's no more official requirement of this kind. We will have more continuity and sustainability after the EU funding. And there is the simplification of the funding mechanism. We will have only 3 types of unit costs, and previous costs for travel and installation, now they're fully integrated in the scholarship unit cost, and the previous participation costs, now they're fully integrated in the institutional unit cost, and we will see the unit costs a bit later. The participation cost, the previous participation cost fully integrated in the institutional unit costs, they are only for scholarship holders. Right. Good news also that scholarships are also paid now for study periods in the country of residence of students. The budget for the higher education institutions and for students has been increased, especially for students from the countries associated to the program. Also, the scholarship, it's absolutely now the same scholarship for students from EU member states or third countries associated to the programs and those countries not associated to the program. That's very good news for the students. And the program has become also more inclusive because now we have a particular support for students with individual needs, and we'll talk about it also in one of the following slides. Now, briefly, who can take part as an organization? They call the programs open to any public or private organization established in an EU member state, third country associated to the program, or third country not associated to the program. So, and applications can be now submitted by any higher education institution from a country associated to the program, or third country not associated to the program. The higher education institutions in the countries associated to the program, they should have a valid Erasmus Charter for higher education, and countries not associated, higher education institutions from the countries not associated to the program, they should commit to the principle of the Erasmus Charter for higher education principles in their partnership agreement. Okay. Now, excuse me, something has happened to my clicker. Okay, all right. Now I'm back. Now, higher education institutions from EU member states, third countries associated to the program, and third countries not associated to the program should have completed already accreditation and evaluation of their master program. This is very important. The consortium, a minimum requirement, so the minimum consortium, that would be 3 higher education institutions from 3 different countries. And 2 of these countries should be countries associated to the program. Plus, and that is optional, but very valuable, other full academic or non-academic partners, associated partners. Now, when we speak about who can take part as an individual in the program, when we speak about students, it's open to students of worldwide, to all the students of the world. Applicants must hold the first higher education degree already or equivalent to that, must not have benefited previously from an Erasmus Mundus Joint Masters scholarship. And the best ones can benefit from a scholarship, and that would depend on the number of scholarships available. So for students, students should apply directly to the Erasmus Mundus Joint Master Consortium, and the master courses offering scholarships are available in the catalogue, but the newly selected masters, they are still not there. We will update the catalogue with these newly selected ones at the end of November. Now, so some words about the funding rules, which are simplified. So you can see that there is one simplified EU grant. It targets both students and higher education institutions, and those 3 unit costs, 3 components that I've mentioned: institutional costs, individual needs, and scholarships. Very briefly, you can see now everything that is in yellow that is in the previous generation of the program, and with complicated calculation depending on whether the student is from partner country and from a country which is more than 4,000 kilometers or equal or less, students from program country, and these are all this difficult, all different types of calculations that are in that. And you can see that there is no special needs in the previous generation of the program, and now everything that is blue, that is for the new program. So it's simple. You have scholarship holders and non-scholarship holders. So one scholarship for all the students who benefit from a scholarship. Then the institutions will get institutional costs for every enrolled student, both scholarship holders or non-scholarship holders. Plus, there will be some funds additional for special needs. Now, those institutional costs, they are for the implementation of the study program, and it's a unit cost, which is 750 euros per month per enrolled student. So when you calculate, you would multiply this unit cost by number of months and by number of enrolled students. And there is a cap here of 100 enrolled students. But consortia, of course, you are welcome to commit to higher numbers. And it's the same unit cost for scholarship holders and non-scholarship holders. And the same unit cost for students coming from countries associated to the program and those not associated to the program. Yeah, here very briefly you can see, so the new program, it's in blue, and the more enrolled students you have, the more non-scholarship holders you have, the more the EU grant contribution is. Right. Now, the student scholarship. So at the student level, it's a full scholarship. It will cover subsistence, installation, and travel, plus the fee waiver. And it's the single unit cost per scholarship holder, 1,400, multiplied by the number of months. Can be from 1 academic year to 2 academic years. and the maximum amount would be 33,600. And at the project level, so how the calculation is happening, it's it's the scholarship, 1,400 multiplied by number of months and number of students, with a cap of 60 students per project. So, okay, now, so you can see here, so we used to have in the previous generation, there are 3 types of scholarships, and then now it's 1. And which is more beneficial for students. Okay, and this is this new unit cost for individual needs. So it's a contribution which is based on individual needs for students. Can be from 3,000 to 60,000. If that is below 3,000, it should be covered by the institutional costs. At the project level, and then the contracting stage, already in the application, you choose whether you would need contribution for individual needs. So you can choose 1, 0, or 2 unit costs of 6,000 euro, 60,000 euro, and with the maximum per project would be 120,000. And that would work for all enrolled students, scholarship holders and non-scholarship holders. And a few words about those additional funds. These are for students coming from targeted regions in response to the EU external priorities. And so EU financial instruments, 2 financial instruments, IPA 3 and DICI, for students from the countries, from third countries not associated to the program. And this contribution for additional scholarships, that would be for the entire duration of the Joint Master Program, and the maximum amount is still to be confirmed. And this is briefly, so it's very similar to the design measures. So the call in November, to be confirmed yet, with the deadline in February 22. The budget, there will be an increase, but it's still to be confirmed. And the number of projects here also with a slight increase, so approximately 27 is project to be selected, but to be confirmed already also. And a number of scholarships per project, so would be maximum 60 plus those additional scholarships that you can also ask for students from targeted regions, and how many scholarships and the budget for that would be needs still to be confirmed. And this is the similar selection roadmap as you saw already for the design measures. So I'll just go very quickly. Also the same information on how to apply through the through the funding and tender opportunities portal. The evaluation of those joint master proposals, they are done by independent experts. 3 experts assess each proposal in 1-step evaluation procedure, and here we speak about 2 thresholds. So it's a threshold for relevance, and the overall threshold of 70 points. So it should be at least 70 points for applications to have the possibility to be selected. And in case of exequo, priority will be given to projects with high scores for relevance of the project and then impact. And here, just I wanted also to tell you that now we give the same amount of points, maximum 30 points for previously relevance would be scored, that would be the highest criteria with 40 points. And now it is also for the relevance and quality of the project design implementation, which is also a very important criteria for Erasmus Mundus Joint Masters. They have the same amount of points. Right. And then the 2 other criteria, quality of the partnership and the cooperation agreements with 20 points, and impact 20 points. So here you have some some links where you could find information about the program and other information sources. And that brings me to the end of my presentation. And now we are happy to answer your questions.
Thank you very much. An applause. This was now very, very comprehensive, and there was lots of information. And
Yeah.
I would say that I didn't see any questions. No, I see now there are now some questions. I will read the question, and then first one. Joint Master Program is accredited in program countries' universities. But for Erasmus Mundus Joint Master application, an institution from partner country is invited to a consortium with a relevant master, not a joint program accredited for implementation. Is such accreditation considered as sufficient to apply? If somebody wants to comment extra, then you can always comment and ask for my microphone. But yes, so wait a little bit, Jekaterina. Yes.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned that for application to Erasmus Mundus Joint Masters, the program already has to be accredited or have already been evaluated in all institutions which are applying, which are joining the consortium. So the question was clear. So in most of the universities, the program is accredited as joint, but if the consortium wants to add another institution, maybe from other program country, maybe from partner country, where similar master program is already operating, but it's not accredited as that unique joint program which is intended for the application. So, is such evaluation is sufficient? Is it clear?
Yes, I think it's clear. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I had some echo. Yes. The what is important is that the master program is accredited. So the national component of your master program is accredited already, has this accreditation. If the joint master is accredited as the joint master wholly, it's brilliant. But in some countries, there's still the national legislation still might not allow that. So, but the national component of the program should be absolutely accredited. So the accreditation should be completed when you apply.
Okay, and I will read the second question.
Okay.
And the third one also came. The second question, what practice is used for designing Erasmus Mundus when national legislation is different and duration of master studies is different? Is it recommended to partner with the countries having the same number of ECTS for getting the master's degree?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think I can't answer, I can't advise what can be, whether you need to find partners who has the same number of ECTS. But when you want to prepare and you design your joint master, it's a jointly designed master. So these things should be discussed within the partnership, within the consortium, and I think there's no because when you design something, you design also it's a master that has a topic. I mean, it's not just to design a master, and these things should be explored within the consortium and see which. I don't know, maybe some difficulties that you would have with national legislation, but these would be some very concrete questions, and you can always send them to us, to our functional mailbox, and we will see in a case by case such questions, like more concrete. Giving a piece of advice like that would be difficult now,
All right, third one. If we have a successful Erasmus Mundus Design Measures project. Would this be a strength point for the Erasmus Mundus Joint Masters application?
Yes, that would be a strength. It doesn't mean that the project will be. It doesn't guarantee the project to be selected. Then, if you apply for the joint master, we cannot give such guarantee because the program is highly selective. But of course, it's for the consortium. It's a very it's a great step, basically, which is funded, and you have this time of 15 months to prepare a master according to the standards of joint master programs. So it's and the action, this lot has been designed because many institutions, they would like to participate. Well, when we didn't have the design measures, many would like to participate, but it's true that it's highly demanding to have, to prepare an application, a proposal for a joint master. And some institutions, they are just not ready for that. They need more time. And this design measure action has been created to help consortia in this period of preparation. But it doesn't mean that this joint master will be automatically selected. They are two different separate lots.
But is it somehow officially in the qualification criteria that somebody would get an extra point, or it is just some kind of spiritual or mental thing?
No. They are just they will be evaluated without any special points for that.
Emotionally, it will be important for the assessor. So, but still, I think emotions count very often. So, okay, let's take the 3 last questions. Otherwise, we won't end before the evening. There are new questions coming up. One is a very concrete question. For the Erasmus Mundus Joint Masters enrolled students, what about the restriction for proportion of worldwide and European students, as it used to be 75-25, or is it still like that? Can it be 100% European students in Erasmus Mundus Joint Masters?
Of European. Now the only rule we have is this rule of geographical balance of 10% of the students of the whole of all the recruited enrolled students. So 10% of them should be no more than 10% of these should be coming from the same with the same nationality. This is the rule. But this program is, of course, also designed to support international cooperation, and there will be additional funds for those targeted regions. So very often in joint master programs, there's also the consortia. They are interested to have those students from targeted regions. So it would not be 100% students from program countries.
How important is the geography of the consortium to apply for Erasmus Mundus? Erasmus Mundus, just in case not to Erasmus Mundus Joint Masters, I would say. It's JP. I expect it should be Joint Masters, the question. So how important is the geography?
In the consortium, in the partnership?
Yes.
Geography. Can I have some more explanation on that question?
Yes, there is a clarification coming up. Just a second. I will give you the microphone.
Thank you. What I meant is that we have an existing program that is still developing of the joint master of the BALTIC states, so it's a regional program. So is it eligible to apply for the joint masters, or should it be a more diverse in the sense of geography?
Okay, right. Well, the rule, the requirement is to have at least 2 coming from the program countries from the countries associated to the program. This is just the rule. Then everything depends on your outreach and on your master, on the topic, whether partners coming from other countries of the world would bring an added value to your master.
It's just to be clear on that, I want to clarify, if we have this existing program, but we don't feel that it is high level integrated and we would like to improve it in that way, is it more justified perhaps to apply for the EMDM than the Joint Masters support before we are very positive about the program to be ready?
Yeah, if you feel that you're not ready yet, it's exactly for such cases where you think that you still need some time, you still need to work on certain things, on the consortium becoming very joint and on developing these things. It's exactly for these cases that also others, of course, where we are only thinking of designing the master program and looking for partnership. But if you feel that you are not ready yet for joint master, of course, yes, then in that case, I would suggest the design measures.
And then I have last question. I'm sorry. It was mentioned that there is one beneficiary to apply for the design measures. So should all the partners be defined before the application, or can we add the partners during the project? So that's why we are applying for the support, to be able to have time to find new partners and develop the partnership. So is it?
Yeah, that's a good question. Normally, it's a one beneficiary, but you have already the partners. I think that you should already have those partners, but it's a good question of whether it would be possible to bring some others. I cannot answer right now, but I think they should be defined already. But these questions, if you wish, you can send us to our functional mailbox, and we will reach out to you, and we will reply to your request. Normally it's you're already thinking of some partners, right, to develop a particular program.
Yes, let's say that some partners are fixed, but there are still one partner on hold and not very sure, or something, bureaucracy or something taking time. But okay, anyway, we know your email.
It can be added. Yeah, or maybe you can add it, and depending on if something is blocking still this partner, I don't know what can it be, but if this partner is willing to participate and is in line with the requirements, let's say, that are needed for the design measure, because some things they will be done within these 15 months, they will be prepared. So if this partner doesn't have something that will be prepared, still it's okay.
Thank you so much. That was a very good overview of the novelties and of the Erasmus Mundus. We have your email. We know who to ask all these questions together, either with the universities or national agencies. And we hope to see you one day also either in Estonia, Latvia and Lithuania. Thank you so much, and one more applause.